All right. I do believe we are live. And we are here in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Today is launch day for the PMDG 777-200ER for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Pretty excited about this one. Although I do seem to have parked at the cargo ramp, but I mean we'll just ignore that and we'll just keep going here. So I think I should have been down here, but this said gate heavy, so I figured I was good to go. But so this is a Swiss Air flight. This is Swiss Air Flight 93. Hey Ali, what's going on? Hey Paul and Ted's, what's going on? Greetings from China. That is wild. What's going on? So we're ready to go. We're gonna be heading up from Buenos Aires here to Sao Paulo, and please excuse my horrendous pronunciation of both of those places. Let me give you a real quick rundown here of what we're gonna be doing. So I don't think the PMDG is out yet. At least last time I checked that out. There's a Concorde going. But anyway, so we're just heading up the coast here. We're gonna be flying here out of Buenos Aires, coming up here along the coast of South America and coming down into Sao Paulo. And it looks like we've got some pretty much full coverage here. Qatar, Ali, that's awesome. How cool is that? Welcome aboard. I'm really happy to see you guys. Yeah, so I don't think it's out yet, right? So we shall see. It should be any time now, and I am on Vatsim, so let me get back here into the sim, and yeah, 1700 Zulu. So we get back here into the sim and get a quick look around the airplane here. Excited for everybody to get a chance to fly this plane today once it comes out, because you guys are gonna love it. It's a really fantastic airplane, and I've had a blast flying it. And there's a little update to it today, but there's also a driver update today. So we'll see. It should be a good time. See where I think I'm pretty sure I'm at a cargo gate, but that's all right. First class here in Austrian. So hey Chris, what's going on? The office cube in Houston, Texas. I almost flew out of Houston, Texas today. I was thinking about it. Hey Bob, what's going on? Hey Chris, welcome aboard everybody. So this should be a good time. I've flown into Sao Paulo before, but I've never flown into or out of Buenos Aires, so this should be pretty cool. And I don't know why, but I usually go southbound. Well, I do know why. The reason I usually go southbound is because I want to get the kind of the view on the left side of the airplane where I sit. So there's the flight plan from SimBrief, and so we can. I'm pretty sure what I'm going to get for departure and arrival, but I don't want to assume quite yet. But we'll import the weight and balance. It's simple as that. I mean, you can do the quick. So one of the things I never went through. So you can do the quick loading if you want to. You can randomize all this stuff if you just want to make it up yourself. I mean, I'm assuming everybody's going to use SimBrief, but you can also do, like, you know, set a number of first class passengers, business class, economy, etc., and do everything, like, you know, in minute detail if you want to. So all this is ready to go. We'll hop into the FMC here. First thing it does is yell at me. Why do you do that? All right, let's take the GPS location here and we'll pop it in there. And reference airport Sierra Alpha Echo Zulu, which is good stuff. And let's come over here. We'll get our route. So I'm pretty excited about this one. Yeah, flies first. You know, I've thought about that actually. I've actually thought about that. I've never flown as a first officer in any aircraft, and it's weird too. I don't know if you've ever tried it, but like honestly, it's bizarre to sit on the. I've even thought about putting my throttle quadrant on the left hand side and do it like the real way, because it's weird switching hands when you're flying. Just had to close my window there a little bit. But the other funny thing is when you a lot of people who go for their commercial pilot's license, as soon as they start going for their commercial, they switch over and sit in the right hand seat, because they're also probably going to go for their CFI, and when you do your CFI, you're going to be sitting in the right seat. So all right, so that's all good. Let's get our perf in it here. Accept that. We're not quite ready for the thrust limiter and all that business. I just want to get my clearance first. So there's that, and we'll go VNAV over 2. Come down forecast, we'll load that. So you can see how quick it is to load this airplane. It takes 2 seconds. And now I'm ready to get my departure. Hola, Eduardo. I'm good. How are you doing? ¿Cómo estás? I'm doing fantastic. I'm flying airplanes, which makes me happy. So, put that on Prague. So I'm going to get my clearance now. There should be information. It's still Delta. It should be Echo coming up pretty soon. But it says Delta, so let's try 121.75 here. 121.75. And it's Pistarini ground, 121.75. So let's get ready for our clearance here. See if we can get this going. Hey Mark, what's going on? We are doing good. So, first radio call of the day. Let's fire this one up. Pistarini ground, good afternoon, Swiss Air 903.
Swiss Air 903, Cessna ground, good evening, continue.
Good evening, just like to pick up our IFR clearance to Sao Paulo.
Swiss 903, are you ready to copy?
Affirm.
Swiss 903, you're clear Ezeiza Guarulhos, Aspire, relevant 390 until Loro. Departure via La Plata, 6 Bravo, BRL, Papa Tango Alpha, transition Dorbo, using runway 11, initial climb 060, squawk 0430.
0420. Okay. I'm gonna be looking for flight level 390. Departure is La Plata Papa Tango Alpha. Departing runway 11 and squawking 0420. I think I missed something in there.
Please confirm departure La Plata 6 Bravo, transition Dorbo, initial climb 060 and squawk 0437.
Okay. Okay. Papa Tango Alpha 6 Bravo departure. Initial climb is 060. Final climb is, or final level is 390, squawking 0420 for Swiss Air 903. I think I got that one.
Please confirm squawk 0437.
0430 for Swiss Air 903.
Ready, 0437.
Roger, 0430. And it's runway 11.
0437.
I'm sorry, 0437. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, your clearance is correct for we're ready for push start.
We'll report ready, push and start. Thank you. Swiss Air 903. Okay. I always feel bad when that happens because, you know, but I'm sure that happens in real life too at airports, you know, like, but it's, you know, it's brave of people to get on and do this. I mean, it's not 0437. It's not his native language. It's mine. Makes my life pretty easy, you know. So let me check here. Let me check the departure because I got to set this up again. So it's Papa. He said runway 11, Papa 2 Bravo. There we go. Runway 11. Yes. We'll take a new departure. Papa 2 Bravo. PTA transition. There we go. Perfect. Alright, now we got that. Yeah, it took me a couple tries. But we got it squared away. I was a few letters off there for a few numbers off there for a while. Alright, so 0437 120.175. What is the next radio frequency going to be? Next radio frequency is going to be center, which is going to be on 125.9. Buenos Aires center 125.9. So we'll put that in real quick. Whoopsie, yeah. Come on. Hello, can I get this? Thank you. 125.9. So that's what's next up. So now let's go put this in. Gary, what's going on? How you doing? How you doing, Godfather? Thank you for saving me on that one, by the way. All right, we're gonna go runway 11, Papa Tango Alpha 6 Bravo. And to be fair, like, I'm good at screwing up radio callbacks from times when there is no language barrier. So let me see, is there anything? Papa Tango Alpha, what's PAPIX?
Si se tráfico no hay información at is echo disponible. Si se traffic new information at is echo available.
Okay, roger, information echo for Swiss Air 93. So don't necessarily need to tell him that I have that, but they like hearing that that you've got. Oh, I'm not going to put that in quite yet. So let's go back to the legs page. Make sure Papa Tango Alpha, then Dorvo. Papa Tango Alpha Dorvo. That is perfect. And then after that is Papa. So we're good. All right. So then we can clear that. We are good to go. So let's get out. Well, let's do our calculations here first. So I don't know if you guys got to be excited about this airplane by now, no? Go performance tools, departure, runway 11. Let's get all that. Let's get all that. So I'll get ATIS here in a second. Calculate flaps 5. Select temp is 42. Trim is 4.5. V2 is 142. So we want 162. Hey, Bravo Mike, thank you. Welcome aboard, sir. Appreciate that. Very, very warm welcome to you. And glad to have you aboard, sir. So let's go. Initial climb was 6,000. You know what I could do? I could actually bring up the Could actually bring up the charts right here and then we can all look at them together. So first of all, airport departure is going to be is going to be there. I know I'm parked at a cargo ramp. That is so funny. There's that. And then we're going to go departure. That is here. So what we're doing on departure is pretty straightforward. It's going to be runway 11, so it'll be kind of in this direction. And then we just come straight out here. Hang a slight left over here to the VOR, and then northeast bound on Bravo. Hey, Bravo Mike, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm glad to hear that. I always, you know, had a couple of people yesterday were telling me how much their sim had improved, and I tell you, it never gets old to hear. You know, I'm really glad to hear that, and I'm grateful for the support. Thank you. So we got that. What else we need? Nothing. Nothing. All right, we'll go pin charts here, and we'll go airport, and we'll figure out the arrival. And so I learned my lesson. Let's see. I learned my lesson the other day flying into Stockholm not to get everything set up before before I get to my destination, because they are oftentimes going to switch things around on me. So let's turn on the APU, get that going first. Now what we have to do is, okay, ATIS is set. Actually, ATIS is not set. Let's at least get the ATIS here real quick. Transition door vote. Did I put that in? I did. All right. Let's see. Let's get ATIS again. Information Echo runway 11. We got. All right, winds are 0208. 0 at 8. Altimeter is 1015. Temperature 21 dew point 10. All right, so that's all good. Information Echo, so 1015. Put that in real quick, and then we should be good to go. There's 1018. 101. Come on, you're almost there. All right, 1015 both sides. All right, so now ATIS is set. We have LNAV, VNAV, auto throttles are armed. Flight directors are on. LNAV, VNAV. Let's see. Flight deck instruments are good. No flags. Auto brake rejected. Takeoff. Let's set that. I love the fact that you set everything up before you even push. Com audio panel is good. 121.75. And then 125.9. Transponder TCAS is good. Aileron and rotor trim is, let's go aileron trim here. Oh, I'll set that in a second. Well, set that right now. 4.5. No, I can't set it right now. I don't think. We don't have hydraulic pressure, so we can't do that. So, over here, doors and ground equipment. Let's make sure the APU is running, first of all. APU is running. So, doors and ground equipment. Let's get all this. Ground ops. We'll remove the chalk. Let's release all this first. Alright, doors. Make sure all the doors are closed, and we'll arm the doors. And we'll come over here and set our parking brake, which I should have done already. And now we can go set these to auto. These are coming on. Everything else is auto. These are good. Seatbelt signs coming on. Let's go rotating beacon on. These are normal. That's auto start. That is on. Alright, so I think we're good to go. Initial climb 6,000, which makes me nervous. The other thing I wanted to do is get the heading. Initial heading is going to be... Put in runway heading 111 here. So... There's runway heading. And... Alright, we should be good to go. Danny, I tested VR, not this build, but the last build, and VR performance was great. I mean, VR was useless before Sim Update 2 beta, and it's fantastic now. So FMC message, perfinav unavailable. Oh, because I know why. I haven't done any of this. There's that. Alright, 42, select temp is good. Takeoff, flaps 5. Let's see, there's that. Trim 3.5, it says. I got 4.5 from the machine, from the EFB. How about we split the difference? We'll go 4. How about that for an idea? Alright, well, let's go checklist, because otherwise this thing will yell at me. Alright, before start checklist, flight deck door, MCP, that's all set. Trim is set, takeoff briefing is set. Let's see, before taxi. Anti-ice is fine. Let's go recall. And we'll set that. Flight controls, we'll check that. Ground equipment is clear. Alright, so we're ready for push and start. Yeah, so Bob, the setup is basically exactly the same. I mean, there may be slight differences that I don't pick up on because I'm not a, not a real 777 pilot, but I mean, to me it's the same and very, very similar to the 737 if you fly the 737, which is nice. So I'm good to go. Rotating beacons on. Recall. Engine areas are clear. We'll worry about that. Let the ground team worry about that. All right, so we're ready for push and start. So let's go here. Get ourselves ready. Toes ready to hit the brakes here. And I think we're good to go. So that ground Swissair 903. Ready for push and start.
Swissair 903, yes, for push and start, report ready for taxi.
Push and start approved, report ready for taxi, Swissair 903. The other thing I want to do before I get going is I want to check my... So he's probably going to give me... Foxtrot. I always like to at least look and see. Alright, so toes on the brakes, release the parking brake. Call for the push to start here. And let's go up top. And we'll start the right engine first. I know somebody said you can start both engines at the same time, but I'm just going to do it this way. Yeah, so aside from the flap speeds and stuff, yeah. Yeah, I knew he was going to push me the wrong way. I knew it. I knew it. Because you can't control which way you get pushed. So I was positive I was going to get pushed in the wrong direction. You can only use the standard Microsoft Flight Simulator push with this. Unfortunately. But that's alright. We got room here. We got room to turn around. Alright, and we'll just call it right there. Let's put the, set the parking brake. And we'll come up top here. And we'll start number 1 engine rather. All right, so looking good, looking good. And we'll come down here and introduce some fuel into the situation here. All right. So there is a taxi option in the ground ops, but or pushback option rather. But no, I think it's actually in the FMC. But in any event, it's not operative yet. So to live with that for now. I did just so the calculation was for 3.5 or 4.5, and then the FMC gave me 4.5, so I'm just gonna split the difference and go 4. That's probably not a solid plan, but that's what I'm gonna do. Fuel pressure, engine right, and not normal. Really? Fuel flow is the same on both sides. Ah, thank you. So this is what happens. This is what happens when you fly the Islander for 2 days. All right, there we go. Now we'll check the recall again. That's good. Go checklist here just to make things, just to make it happy. I'm just gonna check all these things so we don't. Before taxi, flight control. So let's check our flight controls here real quick. Flight controls. This is why you have a first officer too. You guys are my first officer, and believe me, I need one. Alright, and we'll check the rudder. Flight controls are free and correct. So come down here. Flight controls are good. Oh, fuel. No, I'm on the wrong checklist. For taxi, and then before takeoff, flaps. That is a good plan right there. No. Alright. So there is that. Flaps are set. Oh, it's gonna wait until they're actually set. So, Rolls-Royce and Pratt and Whitney can without the GE can also, but it's not recommended to do the APU. Ah, I see. Yeah, Mike, I've heard both things, you know. But I like, I just start them one before the other, and then we're all happy. So, ground Swiss Air 903 ready for taxi.
Swiss Air 903, taxi to Holy Point runway 11 via Foxtrot QNH 1015, report approaching Holy Point.
Taxi to holding point 11 via Foxtrot QNH 1015 will report approaching holding point for runway 11 Swiss Air 903. So now is where he's probably wondering what on earth I am doing, which I'm often wondering myself actually.
Buenos ground, good day, Bondi 5802, stand 3 Alpha, request IFR clearance to Sao Paulo, Guarulhos.
Okay, nice. So, parking brake released.
Bondi 5802.
Alright, first officer can tell me there's...
Good day, are you ready to copy?
Yeah, fully ready to copy, Bondi 5802.
Bondi 5802, you're clear Ezeiza Guarulhos on site, 11370 until Dorvo, departure via La Plata, seat travel, the transition Dorvo, is runway 11, initial climb 060, plus squawk 0574.
So this is a payware scenery, but it's a 2020 scenery, but it seems to work pretty well. Aside from these... Aside from kind of the ground textures on the taxiway, but that's alright. Look at this. We're gonna get right on the taxi, right on center line here. It's perfect.
Departure using runway 11, initial climb 060.
Make sure I got the radio frequency coming up correct.
Bondi 5082, revise correct, one ready for push and start.
25.9.
We will call and confirm departure runway will be 11 for Bondi 5802.
Yes, sir. It will be. Oh, okay. Tower or approach is gone. Departure.
Well, that's good day. Turkish 16 on stand 10 because of accidents.
So we might be going right over to Unicom here. Taxi lights, thank you, sir.
Turkish 16 around. Every copy.
I'm ready to copy Turkish 16.
Alright, we're gonna get ourselves together here.
Clear Guarulhos flight, flight level 410 until Durbo, departure Papa Tango Alpha 6 Bravo, transition Durbo. Using runway 11, initial climb 060, squawk 0352.
We clear to our destination via the La Plata 6 Bravo, departure runway 11, initial climb 6000, squawk 0352, Turkish 16.
Turkish 16, revise correct, report for ready for push attack.
Wilco Turkish 16.
Almost seems like I'm taxiing against the grain here from these arrows, but I don't see any other taxi lines. So, and there's the Turkish flight who's at the passenger terminal where I should have been. Let's see. Runway turnoff lights you want. We'll get some runway turnoff lights going on here. Well, strobe's not ready. Strobe's not ready yet. Strobe when we come onto the runway here. So that's Echo coming up here first, and then we got Foxtrot down towards the end. It's a pretty airport. Never flown down here. Well, I've never flown in Argentina. I have flown in Brazil. But we're gonna be going, we should be going right out over the city, which will be cool. Alright. Start giving it some juice here. I tell you, I flew in Flight Sim 2020 yesterday for the first time in like probably a week, and it's just not the same anymore compared to this one. It's just not the same. Let's see here. So LNAV VNAV is set, auto throttle's armed, speed is set, heading is set, altitude is set. Gotta keep an eye on the altitude because we'll catch that real quick. Getting out of here. But I think, like I said, I don't think we have. I don't think we. Yeah, we do have center, 125.9. So I was gonna say we'll get our own climb after we depart, but I don't think we will actually.
Caesar 983, contact Biden Center 125 is Baliner. Thank you for your flight. Bye bye.
Buenos Aires Center on 125.9. Thanks a lot for your help. Have a great day. Swiss Air 903. I just think it's so cool that, you know, presumably I'm talking to somebody in Buenos Aires or somebody who's from there. And I just think that's pretty wild. I really do. I think it's fantastic. 125.9. And never call for departure unless you're ready for departure. One of the things my instructor told me was, my private pilot instructor told me is don't call for departure until you are ready for departure. When you're ready, you got to be ready. You got to be ready to call for takeoff clearance, get your clearance, and go. There's no turning on lights. There's no flipping switches. Nothing. You gotta be ready to rumble. So let's go up top. We'll go landing light. We'll go strobe. And that should be good. Friday Center, Swiss Air 903. Approaching the holding point for runway 11, ready for departure.
Swiss Air 903, good evening. Winds 020 degrees, 8 knots, runway 11, clear for takeoff.
Copy the winds and clear for takeoff, runway 11, Swiss Air 903. Alright. Ready to rumble. APU still on. I do that all the time too. Whoopsie. Not that that's the most important thing in the world right now. Alright, runway is looking clear. That is an important thing. So.
Aires, elijo el cargo 5771, me recibe.
I understood most of that.
5571, muy buenas tardes, le recibo 55, identificado con nivel de vuelo 270, continúe su descenso para 050 hasta el borde.
Looks good.
Prevé ILS
Bring up
Yankee
the
de la pista
engines
11.
here.
ILS Yankee de la 11, autorizado
Engines are stabilized. Toga power is set. Airspeed is alive. Cross-checked. We're light, so we'll be off here soon. And off we go.
Positive rate of climb.
Gears coming up.
Disculpe, Aires, ¿me podrá repetir el ILS? Porque no me figura el Yankee.
See, if your trim is right, you'll just get right to your V-speed. It's perfect. We'll come up one notch of flaps
Si te
here.
parece, vamos a hacer Trini Arsot para la ILS X-Ray de la 11.
Muy bien.
Okay.
6 Alfa, me dice Aires.
Up speed is good. Go autopilot here.
Presente posición, directo a Trini.
Look at that. And we're flying an Austrian livery because there is no Swiss Air livery for this plane yet, so. In a second, I'm going to give him a call and let him know that I'm climbing so I can hopefully get a new altitude before I get there. And by center, Swiss Air 903, 4,000, climbing 6,000.
Swiss Air 903, airborne 1738, identified flight level 050, flight direct to Dorvo and climb to flight level 3990.
Direct Dorvo and climb 390, Swiss Air 903. See, that if I hadn't called when I did.
5771, ubicó Trini, está en el rumbo 270.
Afirmativo, estoy en DCTA Trini y voy a prever la X-Ray de la 11 vía Arsot.
See, we did capture it, so we gotta go flight level change. See, that's how quick you capture. And we'll just go VNAV again. See, I tried calling him with enough time to spare that if he would give me a climb that I wouldn't level off, but I didn't. Hey Mark, what's going on? Roy, how you doing? Good evening to you, sir. What's happening? We are on our way out of Buenos Aires. This is beautiful. Look at this. Wow. Oh, you recognize the accent, Eduardo. That's great. That is awesome. And you guys hear those engines? Listen to this. Hold on. And look at the engine wiggle. You see the engine wiggle? I love that in this plane. We get the wing flex, which is pretty awesome, and we get the engine wiggle, which is even better. I think the engine wiggle is like the coolest thing in the world. There's 10,000. We'll go. I'm gonna turn the passenger signs to auto just because. I'll turn them off, whatever, because there is no weather. So come back down. Let's go. Checklist. And after takeoff, checklist, landing gear and flaps, good. And let's make sure everything's looking good. There we go, 28, both sides is fine. Hydraulics 333 basically. Fuel is balanced. Gotta turn the temps down here a little bit. Turn the temps down here a little bit so it's not too warm. And doors and everything, that's good. So, alright, so now he did give me direct doorbell. So I could have paid a little better attention to that. And off we go. It's weird, I have the sensation that I'm going south, but I know I'm not. And 128.5 is coming up next, so let's put that in. 28.5. So I was saying earlier, one of the tricks, there's a lot of good tricks to, little radio tricks that you can use to get what you want to get when you need it, so to speak. So when I was climbing out right there, I was trying to avoid getting caught at 6,000 because you gave me an initial altitude of 6,000. I was trying to avoid getting the level off there. So when I hit 4,000, I just called him and said, Swiss Airliner 3, 4,000, climbing 6,000. That's my way of reminding him that I'm climbing to 6,000. That's my restriction, and I don't, I want hires basically.
Contact Montevideo Control, frequency 128.5. Bye.
Montevideo Control on 128.5 for Swiss Airliner 3. Thanks a lot for your help today. Have a great day.
Gracias.
Okay. So 128.5. And always listen for a second when you switch frequencies. Montevideo Control, good afternoon. Swiss Air 903, flight level 2004390. Sort of.
Swiss 93, this is Montevideo radar. Good evening, sir. Identify, continue climb for level 390 onward.
Roger, continue climb for flight level 390, Swiss Air 903. Alright, cool. So, this is a big, it's not even a lake, it's just opens up to the sea out there. So I feel like I was going south because there's water on my left, and I know the ocean's on the right, but pretty wild. It's beautiful. It is absolutely gorgeous up here. So now let me get back into some of the comments here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see, Roy. Still time for the old favorite turboprop. I'm trying to think of what my favorite. You know what my favorite turboprop is actually, in a plane that I flew a ton in Flight Sim 2020, like way back in like 2020 and 2021. TBM 930. That's a great airplane, phenomenal airplane. Sam, how you doing? let's see. Yeah, Sam, they were talking about that, the potential that, you know, that's why they gave such a big release window, I think. Just the you know, potential for something to perhaps happen and delay the release. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to stream a little bit early, is because if I start streaming once the plane is released, nobody's gonna watch. Everybody's gonna be flying the plane. Yes, I am, and Eduardo, I am using Auto FPS. Auto FPS is phenomenal. I need to reset it, actually. Glad you reminded me. I've found lately that I've had to reset it after departure. Sometimes it'll get stuck at a low TLOD, but we're looking good here. So I can pull it up and show it to you here in a second. Let's see, where's Auto FPS? There we go. So that's those are my Auto FPS settings right now, or what it's giving me. And I don't mess with any of the expert settings. I just turn it on and leave it on, and it does its thing. It does a phenomenal job, in my opinion. Look at this. It is absolutely... And you can see the TLODs are going to go up to probably, well, 385, I guess it says. It usually goes up to about 405 on these types of flights. Somewhere around there. But look at that. I love these high-level cirrus clouds. High-level cirrus clouds are so cool. What are we climbing through right now? 27, so we'll get up above those. The Dukes are fantastic too. Yeah, absolutely. Hey Benjamin, you gotta do what you gotta do, you know. I mean, I was gonna go at like 3 o'clock, and that would have made it a little bit tight for me because I gotta be done by like 5:30. So I just decided let's get it going early. And plus, what would I rather be doing? Working or flying? Flying. Okay, the River Plate that separates Argentina from Uruguay. That is, I mean, it is massive. This, you know, this part of it right here is massive. Look at that. It's one of the things I love about. There's another thing I love about the 777 is you get to all these like international routes that are just fantastic. You know, new and interesting places to fly. I love it. And I can't wait for everybody to get their hands on this airplane, and so we can start getting, you know, feedback from people, start hearing what people think about the plane, because, you know, right now there's been like, I don't know, 6 of us or 7 of us that have the plane, and I think everybody's in pretty universal agreement that it's fantastic. So I can't wait for everybody else to get a cheeky. Can't wait for everybody else to get a look at the plane, and we can, you know, hear what everybody else thinks. But I mean, I think everybody's gonna love it. I really do. And in Flight Sim 24, it's just incredible. I mean, I love these high-level visuals. These high-altitude visuals are so good. You know. And I was saying yesterday, the ground, like the maps, the big maps in 24 are phenomenal. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. You know, just beautiful. Let's see, is there a special version of Auto FPS that has the target of FSR3? I think the latest version, which is 4.4.8, I believe, is where that comes in. There's a couple new test versions out since I started using this one, but I'm on the stable version right now. Yeah, AI Affiliator, it got off to a bad start. There's no question about it. But the improvements with Sim Update 2 are enormous. I mean, it's night and day different in Sim Update 2, which is another reason I think. Am I wrong, or I thought Sim Update 2 is going to be coming out prior to the release of the 777, so I'm kind of thinking that maybe Sim Update 2 comes out today too. I'm not sure if that's true or not. I mean, I know they haven't said anything, at least that I've seen from the Microsoft side, the Asobo side. See, and now we're getting the hold on here. Sorry for spinning your heads around here. We're just getting right up to the Cirrus clouds right now. They released a beta update today. I missed it. I missed it. I know there was a new driver out today. I'm actually using the new driver. But I missed the... I mean, look at that. The way the Cirrus layer and then the haze down here. It looks awesome. It just looks awesome. Alright. We should be up above that in a second. You'll have blurred ground. See, I haven't had that at all. You're not using like the map mod or anything? Because I've heard some people with that, but I haven't experienced it at all. Man, you can see. I love these countryside views. These types of views are just so cool to me. So funny how it looks like you're just kind of meandering along when really we're going, what, 530 miles an hour, 530 knots across the ground. Pretty amazing. Cloud fading effect after the sim update, so flying through clouds obscures parts of the wing. Hadn't really thought about that. It's amazing I don't know if I'm just lazy or what, but I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with what we have right now. I mean, the thing about Flight 24 is like when we got Flight Sim 2020. I mean, it was way like less developed. I mean, remember there was no turbulence. There was no weather. There was nothing. There was no you know, what do they call the rocks and stuff around the edges of the water? There was none of that. I mean, it was very, very basic. And hey Joseph, hey Jose, how are you? Am I planning to make a video series on this aircraft to help people understand how to set it up? I can certainly do that, Eduardo. For sure. It's one of the things I really like about the plane is it's super easy. It's I mean, I guess I shouldn't say that because it's, you know, depends on what your familiarity is with the plane, right? But like, if you're going with SimBrief, you can just import your data right here, and that's your, you know, all your flight plan and everything else. You can do, this is a great thing, the weight and balance. Import the weight and balance from SimBrief, and bang, and that's done. And then you come over and load, let's see, go position and then route and then load it, and it's fantastic. I mean, it's very quick. Downloads all the leg winds. It downloads the winds for the descent. So it's quite handy. 1,000 to go. It's quite handy to get it set up. It really is. See the engine wiggle right there? How cool is that? But it makes flying a very complicated airplane, a whole lot easier to do. I mean, I can get this plane set up and ready to go faster than I can get the 737 up and ready to go, if that tells you anything, which is great. Joseph, I'm glad you were able to join the stream too. You're heading off to Heathrow, huh? RDU it's not Charlotte. Where is RDU? It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it right now. That's awesome. I'm glad you're able to join as well. Yeah, it took 2 years. King Bob, how you doing? Good to see you. It took 2 years for Flight Sim 2020 to get anywhere near this, or maybe 4 years. I mean, but this sim is tremendous. I love this sim. And look at this right over here. See the see if I can get a better view of it here. Like, even the layers in the cirrus clouds, look at that. I mean, that is just wild, if you ask me. Look at that. See what I mean? And this is how bright it is this high, too. It's just so bright white. I mean, just look at this layer right here. I mean, it's... it's almost... yeah, Jose, Raleigh Durham. That's what it was on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, I mean, Jose, you're gonna love the plane. The plane is amazing. So Joseph, are you talking real world? Or are you talking you're flying in the sim? I get the sense you're talking real world. But no, Shadow Storm, not quite yet. Hey Brian, how you doing? What's going on? Good to see you. And Horizon 789 is behaving very well. Yeah, I've seen that actually. Sitting in the lounge. That's awesome. Random question: what liveries will come in the 777-200ER? So, I don't think I can pull it up and show it to you, but I can tell you. Let me open the. OC3. So, I will list them off for you. Or actually, you know what? I probably can. Hold on, let me see. Yeah. So can you guys see this? You can see this. These are the... Yeah, here we go. Here's the liveries. So we got... whoops. So we got Aeromexico. We got a couple Air France, Air Peace that I've never heard of. Alitalia. We've got some couple different American airlines. ANA, Asiana, Austrian, which I'm flying right now. Couple Austrian, couple British Airways, which are sweet. We got some Delta. We got Eastern, which I love. El Al, Euro Atlantic Airways, never heard of. Jin Air, never heard of. KLM, there's a bunch of different KLM. Korean Air, Lauda Air, My Way Airlines, which sounds like an airline I wouldn't want to fly. Nordwind, Omni Air International, haven't heard of them either. PIA Pakistan, Singapore, TAAG, which is the Argentinian. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that because I will embarrass myself. Thai Airways, United Airlines, couple of those, and Vietnam Airlines. So that's what we got. And let's get back here. So there's a good number to start off with. Omni's a charter. Okay, gotcha. Air Peace, yeah. Air Peace didn't sound like the type of airline that I really feel like flying with. Oh, didn't I know? You know what I didn't do, guys? Oh no, I didn't start my ACARS. Oh jeez. Well, that's just silly. I'm one of the reasons I'm flying this route is because I was flying it for the I was gonna fly it for one of my virtual airlines, but I forgot to start the ACARS. Oh well. Such is life. Resisting hitting F5 in the PMDG store. Yeah, it's the window is pretty wide open. Pretty wide open for a win. You know, I think it's like 8 hours almost that it could be. So Nigerian carrier. Oh, TAAG is Angolan. The reason I thought it was the Argentinian is because there was one word in there that is in the Argentinian carrier's name, but we're close. We're close. I mean, you know, Angola, Argentina, that's pretty close, right? No, it's not. But anyhow, Josh Cahill review on Airpiece. Yeah, I love those guys who fly all over the world in like the worst airlines possible. Not a job for me, thank you. Yep, next 5 hours, 16:0 to 23:59. And 23:59 is 8 p.m. where I am, so it's a pretty wide window. No, but everything looking good here. Everything looking good. So we take a look at our route here. Or the old EFB. Beautiful flight up the coast here. If you want to track tonight, AA174, roger that. I love tracking people when they're flying. AA174. And what are you going to be flying? I would almost venture to guess that could very well be a 777. Probably not from Raleigh-Durham, but AA174. Let's see here what we got. That's wild. Raleigh-Durham direct to London. And that is gate 20. What do we got for... Yeah, you're... So, Joseph, you're flying a 777-200, which is this. That's awesome. Hopefully your pilots are better than I am. Just saying. I'm sure they are. That is wild. So Roy, that's a little surprising because usually, like, if an airline has a safety record that's rather sketchy, the EU. Well, I just realized the UK is not in the EU anymore. Boy, that was an idea, wasn't it? So usually they don't get EU authorization either. 7 hours 18 minutes. Yeah. Gate to gate it's showing 7:49 right now, and that's a good long flight. That is a good long flight. 26-year-old A319 at RTU from Philadelphia today. Yeah, you know what? I mean, it's amazing how good airline pilots really are. On average, they're just so, and here I am bumbling around in this, trying to pretend I am one. Shadowstorm, we still don't know. We still don't know. Captain Noodle, no. So what happened was I had to update. Excuse me if you hear me cough. I was updating the. I wound up updating the FSR 3.1 file and the FrameGen and regular DLSS files, and once I updated those, good to go. So I think it's something to do with the FSR 3 file. They downgrade all three of them now, and I am still after 4 years of V18 is out now. Yeah, I saw that. I heard that actually, Brian. I just didn't see it before I got to start the flight. But once I get out of this flight, I'll update it. But no, every time you update the sim, they downgrade the DLSS files, which I still forget about. Believe it or not, me. And now they downgrade the FSR 3 file too. Check out all these, like, it looks like veins, all these little tributaries of these rivers that are going through. It's wild. wild. So this is some remote country out here. Joseph, I did not. I fly exclusively with American. Look at our ground speed, by the way. Look at that, 566 knots. That is moving right there. What is, somehow the airplane, I believe, thinks that we have a different type of descent. Oh, it wants cruise altitude 410, no wonder. Alright, well, 410 it is. I think I filed 390, I think that's why. I noticed, I'm like, why is there a top of climb right there? So 410 is even, watch it, we're gonna be going even faster now. Let's see. Yeah, Brian, you do always remind me. Shadow Storm, yes. So if you already own the plane, the 300 for Flight Sim 2020, it's a free upgrade for 2024. I do know that, which is pretty sweet, in my opinion. The Iranian carrier is also allowed to fly to London Heathrow, sanctioned to refuel the plane, so they carry all. Oh my gosh. That, Roy, that is a lot of fuel. Is a lot of fuel. I mean, I would imagine that's a good, it's got to be at least a 5.5 hour flight, depending on the winds. Probably 5.5 one way, 6.5 the other. Wow. Air Peace website shows for international destinations Mumbai, Joburg, Jeddah, and London. Yeah, I think I'd pass on an Air Peace flight. But yeah, it's so yeah, if you didn't have the plane before, it's a straight new purchase, which makes sense, you know. So let's get our pilot brain going here. MIMAL, we're coming up on MIMAL. So let's check our flight plan here and see what kind of fuel we're supposed to have. MIMAL 30.6. That has got to be kilograms. And I don't do kilograms. My brain doesn't work in kilograms. Do, do, do. There we go. That's better. My brain barely does Celsius, much less kilograms. 2.2, I know that. But so we got MIMAL, supposed to have 30.6, and we're gonna have certainly more than that. We got 22 miles to go. 32.4. Air Peace operates the E190. The E190 is a great plane too. Those Embraers, I tell you what, I've flown.
093, are you requesting 410?
Swiss Air 903, apologies, I didn't realize that ATC was still on. Yeah, request change to flight level 410, please. Shoot.
093, Montevideo.
Swiss Air 903, Montevideo Control, my apologies, I didn't realize I was still with you. I would like flight level 410, please.
Okay. Maintain flight level 410.
I maintained 410 for Swiss Air 903. Apologies for that. I thought I was out of his airspace. That was embarrassing. Alright. Yeah, I still got another 10 minutes or so before I'm out of his airspace. Yeah, Bob, you know what? So let's find out what this town, I want to find out what that town is right there. Let's see here. World map. I want to find out what that village or town or whatever it is. Where is it? It's off the right of... Oh, okay, we're coming up here. We're coming up here. That is Melo. M-E-L-O. That is Melo, Argentina. That is wild. I suppose maybe I should have... That's really bad. Or are we in... Oh, we gotta still be in Montevideo. Or in Argentina, rather. Okay, that was... I do all kinds of things wrong, but I usually don't do that wrong. So, whatever. We'll live, I guess. Oops. A220 is a cool plane. I have no idea about that developer or the... I know they just gave a big update, but I haven't been paying attention to it at all. But, I mean, A220 would be a cool plane to have.
Montevideo Centro, muy buenas tardes. Aquí la Chile 8143.
En Chile 8143, este Montevideo Radar, muy buenas tardes, prosigue.
Are you talking changing frequencies, Bob? Are you talking just connecting to the network or not?
Aquí al momento nivelado vuelo 150 y a 12 millas de Dorbo.
Brian, that's amazing.
Chile 8143 identificado, continúe en nivel de vuelo 150. Planifique RNP Zulu 07, transición y suba.
I feel so bad for doing that.
Muy bien, esperemos la producción RP, el Pita 07, transición y suba, 8143.
Just a complete brain fart. I just like wasn't thinking. And I said this in a couple of the streams, but
693, leaving our S-band for the ATC, Unicorn 122 decimal 8.
122.8 for Swiss Air 903. Thanks a lot for your help today. Have a good day.
You too, thank you.
So now that I have thoroughly embarrassed myself, we'll go 122.8. Brian, that's really wild. But I've said this in a couple of the streams, but it's incredible how angled up, how steeply angled up the wing is on the. Like I haven't flown in this plane, but in the 787, which has the same kind of thing. It's wild how steeply angled the wing is. See that? Look at that. I mean, that's you can see it's almost more apparent on this side. But look at that, it's wild. Really cool. Roger Joseph, talk to you in a little bit. Oh, talking ATC, yeah, it's a button on the control on the yoke. Oh, the 8. Oh, so there is Synaptic. Are they related to any builds? Because that would be concerning as well. Yeah, I mean, I hate to say something bad about a company. You know, it's not easy what they're trying to do, but like, it's unfortunate all the Vatsim crash issues they're having with the AnyBuilds planes. You know, just unfortunate because they're great planes. They are fantastic airplanes, but they've got those issues. Have a small tankard that was presented to my uncle. He was there. He was 3. Say cross the equator southbound. That is wild, Brian. That's really neat. Yeah, Jose, it might be a while. No, but it's the connection itself is steady, but like it's just a push. They call it a push to talk button. So it's just a button on the yoke that you push when you want to transmit. But who knows? They're probably. I thought the reason this plane was coming out when it is because of Sim Update 2. So I kind of thought that they would come out together, but they may be checking it over to make sure that nothing is goofed up with it in the Sim Update beta. What is it? 0.18 now. You know, so. Yeah, Bravo Mike, it's insane. I mean, and the thing is, like, these wings, if you ever go online and Google it, I'll see if I can find the video and share it in the chat. But one of the tests they do is they have these machines that'll push the wings up and just bend them until they snap, and they will turn up like angles like this before they snap. It's insane. It is insane. Tiago, yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, Tiago, the thing with the Indy builds, to me, it wasn't even necessarily performance. Like the Flight Sim 24 planes they did were great. The Airbus that they did were great. They just had the Vatsim crash issues, and like I just couldn't fly them. I probably flew the A321 probably, I would say, about 15 times in Flight Sim 24, and I had crashes in probably 10 of the flights. And I tried everything to figure it out, and I went on their Discord trying to help, or not their Discord, but their forums trying to help, trying to get some help and trying to get it figured out, and just nothing. And they're even having those problems with the I was gonna say, Brian, they're having those problems with the A350 sometimes. A lot of people are, and if I paid $70 for it, I wouldn't be particularly happy. But who knows what the issue is? I don't know. Brian found the ship built in Belfast alongside the Titanic. I'm glad I had a more successful trip than the Titanic. That would have been. That would have been less than optimum, suboptimal as they say nowadays. Let me see here. So, gonna start thinking about the approach anyway. We still got a ways to go here. Let's see. Our arrival is estimated 1936. What do we got right now? So we got about an hour and 15 minutes. So. Yeah, Brian, that's exactly what I was thinking. I would have cut your family history short. Man, it's crazy if you think about all this stuff your predecessors did. I'm sure my grandfather had himself a good time when he was a young kid. You think of all the things he did and all the potential outcomes there were. And I'm lucky to be here, It really is. It's funny if you think about it. Marcel, hey, what's going on? Just installed the new beta. Guess what? Yeah, they were. That's what got me. That's what got me again. I mean, I forget that. Brian's got to remind me. But so There was a whole bunch of ATC on earlier down in there was a bunch of ATC in Rio earlier, or Sao Paulo earlier, but there's not right now. So I got a buddy flying up to Miami today from Kingston, Jamaica. I do want some empanadas. Oh, I want some empanadas. Empanadas are delicious. My mother-in-law makes phenomenal empanadas. Tiago, yes I am. We are Swiss Air 903. Let me see if I can type that into the chat here. SWR. I feel so bad for climbing on that dude without asking him. You could hear him. He was like, Roy, I'm just flying it for the first time now, so this is what is it? 5. Hold on, let me look. It is 576.28 right now is the one I'm flying with, and it's doing well so far. Most of the changes, most of the change log anyway, is for the RTX 5000 cards. Usually there's more ATC coverage on a VAL. I've never flown on a VAL. Interestingly, I don't have, literally never tried it. How do you get to load a flight in 24? I'm stuck on a loading screen for over 20 minutes. That's a good. Does it come through eventually or no? Could hear all the people talking. The only trick I know is, not really trick, but just making sure your time zone is set correctly in your Windows settings. That was the one for a while there that was catching a lot of people out. That's odd tolerance. I don't know. I don't know. Some people have had that. Are you're in the beta, I assume, or no? I'm in the beta right now. Let's see what's going on here. I got 14,968 subscribers. I got 32 more to go to 15,000. Pretty wild. Dominican Rat, what's going on? Normal version, yeah, I don't know. So nothing. I mean, the only thing that changed recently was that the city update, right? But I wouldn't think that would do anything. But it's hard to know. Hard to know sometimes. Popping in on lunch break. What's for lunch, Dominican Rat? I'm hungry too. New 777 has GSX integration for boarding and fueling. I would presume it does, especially in 2020. I don't know if GSX works in 24. I don't know. That's a good idea, Roy. Yeah, tolerance. Maybe try. Copy a version of your user CFG file, save it somewhere, and then delete it out of your installation, and then restart the sim and see if that does it. That might do the trick, actually. Gosh, this is a quiet part of the world right here. Look at this ridge line right here. I sort of expected. I mean, I guess you can see the coast a little bit, barely, but I sort of expected to kind of be right on the coast. Sam, I would guess they probably are. Meat pies, that sounds good. That sounds good. That sounds really good, actually. Getting the freighter when it comes out. Frankie, I assume it will, yes. I assume it's going to be just, you know, I think all three of the 2024 versions are going to be, you know, on par. What am I doing here? You know, the freighter is great. I love that plane. Freighter's a cool airplane. More like a snack. Where in the world are you located right now, Dominican Rat? Truly wondering what the price. So somebody told me that the price of the 773 was $77.73. Hey, Slow, what's going on? Yeah, so home in Dominica, yeah. Man, I'm jealous. It's warming up here now, though, finally. But I would love to be in the Caribbean right now. I would love to be in the Caribbean right now. So 1936 is our arrival. Top of descent. What we can do here real quick. Let's go SBGR. And we'll go about 120. Give or take, should be top of descent. And you can see, so what I'm doing right now is putting range rings in. You can see that ring just popped up. That just gives me an idea of approximately where top of descent's going to be. You just take your altitude times 3 basically, so 40 times 3 is 120 roughly. And then I want 25 for my first radio call if there is no ATC. Then I want 15 to get slowing down. And then I want 10 for a 10-mile final. And then I want 5. And the reason I'm hitting /5 is because it's bearing / distance. So if you hit /5, it'll give you a 10-mile range ring, 5-mile range ring. This is a 120-mile ring around the airport. This is what that's all about. So let's get a look at the approach that we might be flying here. Already got the Phoenix. Dominican Rat, one of these days I'll take you up on that, I promise you. I would love to see Dominica. Love to see it. Oh, Frankie the I remember I was calling you Frankie the other day too. Frankie the PMDGs will not disappoint you, trust me. This airplane is phenomenal. I absolutely love this airplane. The thing I love about this airplane so much is the level of automation is a little bit higher than the 737, which makes it a little easier to fly single pilot. It's just an amazing airplane. I love it. Yeah, Roy, I hear you, man. I hear you. I mean, you can spend basically an unlimited amount of money in the sim, really. Still, my FS24 looks great. That's that should be TLOD slow. I know some people have been saying that theirs is not that great in the sim. Hudson, yes, I am on Vatsim. We are SWR 93. Brian, that is very kind of you. You didn't have to do that. Thank you. I appreciate that, Brian. You've always been a great supporter, and I'm very grateful. Can someone gift me the PMDG 777-200? If I could, I would. Dominican Rat, I would do it. I could. 777 driver, you're so welcome. Thanks for the support, man. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. but kind of want to try Vatsim. Don't know how to do. You know, Vatsim. What I would recommend, I think one of the things that a lot of people do when they decide to try Vatsim for the first time is they'll do like, you know, they'll fly in or out of JFK or like, you know, Heathrow, whatever. I would, you know, just find somewhere that's empty. One of the biggest things is mic fright. We call it mic fright. Like, a lot of people don't like talking on the radio. Even real pilots, a ton. I was talking about this yesterday. A ton of real-world pilots don't like talking on the radio. They will avoid towered airports. I'm exactly the opposite. I love towered airports. I love having a controller, you know, keeping an eye on everything. Tolerance. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. 777 driver. That's amazing. Thank you. Believe me. You know a lot more about this plane than me. That's awesome. That must be this must be such an amazing airplane to fly in real life. I can't even imagine the feeling of like power in your hand with the throttles in this plane. It's got to be insane. That's awesome, 777 driver. That's really cool. I'm amazed by this airplane. What I'm really amazed by is the fact that we can sit here like in our, I mean, I'm in my, you know, my office and in my house, sitting here flying a 777 over Brazil and Argentina. It's wild. Like, the age we live in is just crazy. You know, and those are either contrails or high-level cirrus clouds. Those are great. Probably cirrus clouds because they're above me and I'm at 41,000 feet. You know. But I just love it. The 777, the MD-80 is still your favorite? That's cool. That's cool. Austrian has the GEs, and the GEs sound fantastic. So PMDG is going to be upgrading the sound packs on all three of the engine variants over the next couple of months. I believe they said 2 months. And I haven't flown the Pratt & Whitney yet, but the GEs sound fantastic. They sound really, really good to me. I'm not as picky maybe as some people are with sound. Some people get really into the sound of the plane and get really upset about it, but the GEs sound really good to me. But they're going to be upgrading all of them over the next. They have a whole new setup for recording and everything, so it's going to be, I think it's going to be a huge upgrade. Yeah, Roy, I mean, 777 driver, man, you should do some videos on this plane. I mean, there's no shortage of people that would watch if you're not doing that already. You have an Airbus throttle thing for flight sim. So annoying for. Yeah, I do. I have the Honeycomb Bravo, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I have it, is because I fly so many different planes that I just like having something that's, you know, flexible, you know, and it certainly is. Yeah, 777 driver. I'm not kidding, man. You remember when the ATRs came out, and what was the guy's name? He flies them in, or flew them in, Southeast Asia. I forget. Trying to remember. He was such a cool guy, though. And he did a bunch of videos. He flew in the Maldives, and he was a cool guy. He was a training captain for somebody out there, and he started doing ATR videos. And when the ATR came out, he was like a world hero for a while. It was really cool. So right now we have no ATC in Sao Paulo. I kind of doubt that's going to remain. Yeah, he was. I'm gonna try to find it. He was such a nice guy too. Probably still is. Let me see what. Magnar, fly with Magnar. He was so great. Like he had the perfect demeanor for a training captain, you know. Yeah, fly with Magnar. The guy was awesome. I think he retired. He was such a cool guy. So, I guess I better not goof up my landing then. If we have a, we have a 777 pilot here. So what are we coming up on here? 777 driver, one of the things that I like about this plane so much especially in Flight Sim 24, I've got like about 6 landings in it now. And I'm a private pilot, so I have a little, I have a decent idea of what I'm doing, but you can really get a feel for it very quickly. Like some planes take a while to get a feel for. This one, I felt really comfortable with it the last landing I made. So, yeah, Roy, yeah, he is. I think he retired, I believe. Oh, he can only fly domestic. Yeah, so he must have hit 65. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate that he can't. Next waypoint is... Let's see here. Silov. And we should check our fuel here. Silov. There are we? Silov 25.7 and we have 27.0, so we're good to go. We are efficient today. Can I make liveries? No. I wish I could. This is so beautiful out here. The little city off our wing here. I want to see what that is. That is Caxias do Sul. Little airport in there. So cool seeing all the regional airports around. There's somebody in 772 ahead of me, but probably not in Flight Sim 24. How high is my TLOD right now? It is 410. So I'm using auto FPS. So right now it's 410. And so that's what's controlling my TLOD right now. Oopsie, that's not what I meant to do. That's what I meant to do. Alright, so we should start thinking about our approach here. What is going on in Sao Paulo? Winds are 0608. So I'm gonna see if I can see any traffic coming in here. Show a bit of the cockpit texture, sure. So I'm on DLSS quality and high settings right now, so it's not as high as it, as I usually do. I turned it down a little bit for streaming just because I want to make sure you get a nice smooth performance. But I mean, I can show you real quick. Like, I mean, they're definitely better than what I'm showing when I have everything turned up, so I just know that I turned down the settings for the stream. I mean, I still even at this setting, I think it looks still really good. Oh, I want to show you something funny that Matisse showed me the other day. You can get so these covers they're stored right here. You can open up that storage space. Yeah, like I said, I've got my settings turned down right now, so it's not going to look as good as it normally would. But I mean, you can see like the wear around the edges and stuff. You know, I think it looks pretty good. When you jack up the settings, it looks fantastic. I do some flying stuff here. I gotta start paying attention. All right, I want to start looking to see if I can see what traffic. Oh, the pen is clickable. The pen is clickable. Matisse said that when you click the pen, a red light goes off in Robert Randazzo's office. Do you ever get blurry taxiway lines when using auto FPS? Yes, Captain Noodle. Yes, sometimes I do. Yep. Nice tool I also recommend for both is the reshape tool. I've heard about that. I've never used it, but I've heard about it. I have heard about it. I'm gonna write that down and check it out again. So let's see here. What kind of traffic are we looking at into Sao Paulo? Well, not much so far. So landing 10 right. Let's see. Landing 10 right. Yeah, I'll bring you guys over so we can take a look here together. So landing 10 right, which is this runway here. So we got the arrival already, which is this. And this looks like an RMP arrival. And it is an RMP arrival. So we'll go around the horn. It's kind of interesting. I wonder why they do it this way. I mean, you're essentially landing. You would. It must be because the city must be here, so they don't want to overfly the city, I guess. Let me see. You know, slow. I like to keep as much default as I can, just for simplicity's sake. I mean, the more things you have to update, you know. ILS runway 10 right. ILS Romeo runway 10 right. That looks kind of like a cool approach. ILS Romeo runway 10 right. Where is that? Let's take a look at that. Yeah, that looks cool. Oh, that looks really cool. GR007. Oh, that's going to be fun. We're going to fly this one. So what this is going to be, you can see here, the overview. So this is the arrival. And we straighten out. That's kind of a sharp turn, but come out straight down here. And then right here, this is a descending turn. That's a descending turn onto about a 5-mile final. That looks like a lot of fun. We are going to do that. You know, I always found, King Bob, about the NVIDIA filters and just the filters in general. Like, once I start goofing around with them, I just feel like I get lost. Like, you change one thing and then something else changes and you're like, I like the blues, but then the yellows aren't right, and after a while I just feel like I just don't know what I'm doing anymore. ILS R10 right. Ha! This one's gonna be fun. GR283, I believe, is correct. Yes, it is indeed. That's the transition we want. And then our arrival is Evra 1A Bucksuck. Evra 1A Buxuk. So this is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. So these are all RNAV waypoints. GR283 Loman. Oh, okay. I see here. So you can see, let me show you here real quick. So we'll do some chart fun. So you see this says, it just said GR, let me go over here. It said GR283 Loman and then GR283 again. So this is the actual arrival ends at Loman, but we want to break off here at GR283. So what the FMC has right now is to Loman and then a discontinuity back to GR283. So if we come back here, you can see it goes GR283 Loman discontinuity, then back to GR283. So what we want to do, take that GR283, cover it there, and we are good to go. So top of descent is in 200. Well, it's coming down 230 miles. 1950 Zulu is the estimated arrival. Time we at now? All right, so we got about an hour for the arrival until top. No, hour until we're on the ground. Hour until we're on the ground. 1848. Top of descent is in 24 minutes. And you see earlier. Remember the range ring I put in earlier, and you can see this is the ring right here, and then top of descent is right there. So my estimate was pretty accurate. Estimate was pretty accurate. So, all right, so should be good. Hey, Bob, it's good to see you, man. Take it easy. I find most meetings dumb, but we got to go to them, you know? So take it easy. We'll see you later. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Buckman, what's going on? What's going on, Buckman? What's happening? What's happening in the Pacific Northwest? Will do, my friend. And yes, we are going to fly Sunday for sure. You can do that. I don't know if you can do sharpening with NVIDIA control panel, I think, and through the app. I don't really mess with it. But like I said, I get to OB3 Kenobi. How you doing? I just find that, like I said, I find like if once I go down the rabbit hole, I'm just like, I just don't understand what's going on anymore. So I like to keep the visuals as simple as possible. You know. So PMDG's hangar store is still closed. Yeah, we gotta keep docking, Roy. Okay, with the reshader. I mean, it's I remember early on in Flight Sim 2020, watching a couple of videos on like using the GeForce Experience shade, like what do they call them? Not shaders. What's the word I'm looking for? Filters, and you can change the colors and the brightness and the sharpness and the contrast and blah blah blah. But the thing is, like, you have different monitors than I do, So if I tell you exactly what my filter settings are, it's not going to look the same for you. And I just find like if I start going down the rabbit hole of all that stuff, after a while I just don't, I just get lost with it. And so I just like leaving it where it is. And I mean, I think this looks fantastic. Looks even cooler when you do this. Watch this. And you've got the like that grimy like plastic look on it, you know, that these things always have. But Bravo Mike, thank you so much. I really appreciate you joining, and look forward to getting to know you and having some fun with you, and hope you do well and take care. Yeah, OB3 Kenobi, I'm the same way. I'm quite happy just sitting in my office flying a 777, you know. It does the trick for me. Where are we here? Yeah, that's another cool. I love this thing too. Whoops. Those things are pretty cool. You slide them around. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with all this, you know. Roy needs a new keyboard. Sometimes, you know, I think with the Sim Update 2 beta update coming out today to .12 now, or 1.8 rather. I think that's probably what is delaying. GSX integration, King Bob. I'm not sure. I don't use GSX, so I don't know. I don't know if it would normally be like on this page or. The one thing I love, and I've showed this before, so they have an automated ground op system. So like if you want to do, there are different levels. You can do a short turn, you can do a long turn, and basically what happens is you set it up, or you can do a custom, whatever. You set it up and you put all the parameters in, like how much fuel you want and blah blah blah, and it'll turn the plane around for you, like, you know, unload, reload, clean the lavs, you know, new water, new, you know, everything. It's just so cool. And you sit there and just watch the plane from the outside, and you see all the doors open, you see the, you know, equipment coming up to the plane, and it's pretty cool. I've never gotten into GSX. I like to get in the plane and go. Like, you know, it's just with my schedule, that's the way I need to do it. But I know a lot of people are into GSX, and it's cool. Don't get me wrong, but it's just not something I've used. Look at that. See the coast just off in the haze over here. This is such a beautiful airplane. Let's see, Phoenix Airbus family, man. You know, OB3. I just started flying the Airbuses once Flight Sim 24 came out, because I wanted to fly, you know, jets, and the Indy builds A300s, you know, A320, A319 came with the sim, and so I started flying the Airbuses just to have something to fly, and I like them. And I got the Phoenix a couple weeks ago, and I like them. They're cool airplanes, you know. But I'm a Boeing guy, you know. When I got my hands on this plane, I think last Thursday, like the first time I got in it, and you see the FMC and everything's familiar, and like, it just felt like being home, you know. And I like the Phoenix. I like the Airbuses. I never really was an Airbus guy, and I'm still not an Airbus guy, but it's definitely warmed me up to them a little bit. But this airplane is going to be my go-to. This airplane is definitely going to be my go-to. Yeah, Sam, that's almost certainly the case, that even if they haven't found anything wrong with you know, any issues, they've still got to check it. And look at the engine wiggle right there. That is so cool. You remember when we You remember FSX when we were like, it was like stick figures. And now we've got like fully modeled cabins and we're like, you know, just amazing. Just amazing. Wiggling engines. I mean, pretty wild. So, what are we looking at top of descent here? Looking at about 15 minutes to top of descent. Timo, what's going on? Yeah, I mean, the iFly, the 737 MAX is nice, and I enjoyed flying it, but it's not on the level of this plane. No chance. I mean, if you're asking whether you want to buy the iFly 737 or the PMDG, it's PMDG hands down. And that's not an insult to iFly. iFly, they made a nice plane, you know. But PMDG is just they set the bar, you know. Not only with this plane, but with the 777. So PMDG profiles are on for SimBrief. I looked before I departed, and they weren't up yet. So that's good news. Although, you know, I've noticed slight differences in the fuel weights. Like for example, we're coming up here on Savlu. Where's Savlu? Savlu 21.3. And we've got 23.1. I mean, we'll have probably 23 and 22 and a half by the time we get there. But I mean, it's still, fuel burns are a little bit different than so I'm just using the standard SimBrief profile. So I think the PMDG profile is gonna be nice. Hey Timo, sure, absolutely. Oh yeah, Flighter, you're right about that too. Yosef, y'all charged up? I love flying. I love being at airports. I love everything about flying. All the stuff that annoys most people about flying, I love. I love waiting in line. I love going through security. I love getting coffee before the flight. I love putting my stuff in the overhead bin. I love flying. Love everything about it. OB3, everyone has their preference. Still love a low level and a fast jet. You know, it's funny. That's nothing that's ever really done it for me. I love flying. Go through PHL security. So my wife and I both got global entry, so we have whatchamacallit, TSA pre-check. So we just waltz through. That's probably one of the reasons why I like it. I'm always like overly nice in the security line to the TSA people, because you know they just get crapped on all day long by people, like argued with and yelled at, and you know, and so I always just like to be really nice to them, so that at least somebody was nice to them during their day. But let's see, weather at Sao Paulo is... Weather is 100 at 5, visibility 10 miles or greater, broken 4300, temperature 23, dew point 13, altimeter 1020, so we should have pretty good weather coming in is my guess. So it's gonna be a cool arrival. This is gonna be a really cool arrival. I think this is gonna be fun, and this will show off the capabilities of this airplane too. So let me take a quick look here. 1912. It is 1901. Guys, I'm going to take a real quick break here before we hit top of descent. I will be back in 2 minutes. Be right back. Alright, we are here, ready to get going. So let's set our... Let's take a look at the approach here. EFB. We want charts. We want... Alright, arrival. Standard terminal arrival route. Which one do we have again? We had... Evra 1A. Evra 1... Is it this one? It is indeed. Evra 1A. 20-2D. Make sure I got the right one. 20-2D. Okay, so there's the arrival. And the approach is runway 10 right. ILSR runway 10 right. Look at that beauty. Look at that beauty. That is going to be cool. Make sure that's correct. 21.5. That's 21.5. And... Alright, so let's check the bottom. Oh wait, we want an airport. That's approach. Want an airport chart too. Alright, cool. So let's check the bottom altitude for the arrival. Bottom altitude for the arrival is going to be 8,000 at GR283. Let's make sure that's same on the approach. GR283. 7,000. Alright, so let's go 7,000. At least to start. Alright, and we are in VNAV path mode, which is what we want out of life. Heading 046, we'll set that. Alright, so. And that's the thing I love about this plane is it's so familiar. If you're a Boeing pilot, which granted I am not a Boeing pilot. I'm a fake Boeing pilot. But if you're comfortable flying Boeings, this plane is gonna feel very comfortable to you. That is Curitiba right here. There's the airport, look, right there. Check it out. Cool, and there is the ocean, the Atlantic. Still no ATC, which is fine. I'm perfectly happy with no ATC coming in, especially with this approach, because then I can just do my thing. Good. Let's see. When I did London there a month ago, I went through 2 minutes. Sydney a few months back was the only one in TSA. Sydney, Australia. So Joseph, you do a lot of flying then. Yeah, I always set the initial on FMS fact. If you put PP in the heading, the plane will turn and fly the track in LNAV. No way. That's interesting. So wait, so if I put, let's see here. If you put PP and a heading, planes will turn and fly that track in LNAV. Interesting. Yeah, King Bob, I totally agree. 165 flights this year so far? Holy cow. PP030. And so 777 driver, that will descend you on the arrival and everything? Or am I thinking too far ahead? So, Joseph, I take it you don't spend a lot of time in economy class with the number of miles you must have. Oh, that's funny. It'll just fly the track. Oh, gotcha. Okay. And again, the high-level clouds in this sim are amazing. And there's also something really cool about flying at flight level 410 all the time. I love it. You know. But 777 driver, doesn't this look pretty realistic? Like the high-level haze and like the bright whiteness of the horizon. It looks pretty realistic, doesn't it? I think. I try not to. Yeah, doesn't it, 777 driver? I think it looks absolutely spot on. I really do. So, I'll run you guys through the approach again real quick. I don't know if 777 driver, if you saw this one. This one should be pretty cool to see whether I'm sure the plane's going to fly it flawlessly, but it's going to be fun to watch. So we're doing this approach, and Navigraph does such an amazing job of integrating all this stuff. Like, you have no idea how good this is. If trying to do all this like for real flying is with ForeFlight at least. I mean, it's good, but this is amazing how well integrated this all is. So we're coming here to Buxuk, and then we fly this arrival, which is do 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 do, and I imagine so that is a flyby waypoint. So I'm guessing gonna cut this because it's a 90-degree turn anyway. Let me see here. Buxuk. Wait, what one is that? That's GR277 at 14,000. Yes. Okay, I'm just checking here. And then we come down here to GR283, and that's where we pick up the ILS right here. Initial approach fix, straight leg to GR009, and then we start getting, so from GR009 you can see from here, right here, we start the descent. Actually, we're gonna be descending here too, actually. So, but this is a straight line descent, and then we'll be doing an RNP segment right here, where you're descending from 5,500 to 4,000 as you're making this turn right here, and you're rolling out on basically a 5-mile final. So that's gonna be pretty sweet. So, what is the airport elevation? It's 2,500 feet. I didn't realize that. Okay. So, let's see. We'll get back in the plane here. It's going to be a pretty cool arrival, in my humble opinion. So we should be getting close to top of descent here. Expect to get a short point at any point in that arc. Gotcha. Ah, okay. So here, let me bring you back over here. So what 777 driver is saying? So this is actually the initial approach fix. I don't know if it says which approach to expect. It doesn't. But this is, so you're saying that this is all equidistant from the initial approach fix because you're probably going to get a turn, like direct to the initial approach fix, basically. GR277. Gotcha. So anywhere along here, and that's why it's a constant altitude too, 14,000 to 14,000. So anywhere along here, you're going to get that. Gotcha. Triple seven driver, that's awesome info. I'm instrument rated, but I don't have the knowledge that you have by any means. And instrument flying is the most fun flying you can do. So I don't remember who was saying earlier that they love doing low level low-level jet stuff. Like, to me, instrument flying is the most fun you can have. I love instrument flying. The blast. All right. So, Japan Airlines from Tokyo to Manila. Triple seven driver. I don't want to ask who you fly for, but like what region are you based out of, or what are common routes that you fly or something? I'm just interested to know what kind of stuff, what kind of flying you do. I don't want to pry too much, but I'm curious. So we are in the descent. I love these clouds. Middle East, gotcha. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Yeah, actually, 777 drop. That's one of the things I was saying about this plane the other day, is that this plane is as much fun to fly, like short haul, as it is to fly, excuse me, as it is to fly long haul. I love doing like hour-long flights in this plane. Are great. You know, you would think it would be cumbersome, but it's really not. Square guard, yes. I have Honeycomb Alpha, and I've contemplated getting like a, you know, the Boeing yoke, for example. But I fly too many different airplanes, so I don't bother. So knowing Milo, there's a ton of traffic coming into these airports right now. There's 2 main airports in Sao Paulo. 3. And let's see what kind of traffic here. Yeah, it's quite a bit of Vatsim traffic. There's a lot of Avao traffic. It's actually more Avao traffic than there is Vatsim traffic, interestingly enough. Let's see here. But knowing my luck, I'm gonna be in the arc to join final, and I'll get a tower come on. I'll have to mess with radios. Yeah, 777. That sounds fun. And plus, I mean, I'm sure you go east and west. You know, you probably have like an incredibly varied schedule. That's pretty wild. That is pretty wild. So this month just came back from Boston, Haneda, Manila, and Seoul to go. That's cool. That is really cool. I turned my light shafts back on. Alright. Let's see here. Should at least zoom this out a little bit. Alright, what's transition altitude here? Transition altitude is transition level by ATC. That's annoying. Hey, 777 driver, you might know the answer to this question. I'm sure you know the answer to this question. Why do they have a different transition level than transition altitude sometimes? That never made any sense to me. Wouldn't that mean that you could have, like, let's say this is 10,000 and this is 8,000. Sometimes it's like 9,000, 8,000, whatever. Wouldn't that mean you could have airplanes in the same airspace at different altimeter settings? Or is that just my imagination? I never understood that. So 8,000, what's the, I never understood that. Let's see. Joseph, I totally agree with what you just said. How aviation brings the world together. I mean, we're all people from different places, different backgrounds, different experiences, different everything, and we're all having a good time. I love it. Aviation is that's what's awesome about aviation. It really is. The winds are 140 at 8. Variable between 100 and 180. Scattered 5,000, 2215, 1020. Alright, so usually it's an area with large QNH variances. That's you're an island boy yourself. What island are you from? And they have that all the time in the Caribbean. It drives me nuts. I could never figure it out. So in other words, it's not necessarily that you're going to have aircraft at different altimeter settings. They're going to be different distances from the airport, pretty much. That's the first answer that's made sense about that question. I never understood that. 102. So in other words, because you've got Curacao, that's right. Level's always oh, so it is going to be the same. It just is not always consistent. Yeah, all aviation. Yeah, this is pre-release. Different in Europe due to lower transition altitudes. It's interesting. Yeah, they got 4 hours to go. All right, let's see. Let's start getting stuff ready. One 1020. How did do this dance the other day? 1020. All right, minimums are. Oh, 2651. 777 driver. So 2651. So would you set that as barrel minimums or radio minimums and just do 200? There in the charts, it even tells you what the transition level is, this much, and when it is that much. Ah, okay, gotcha. Tolerance, I never thought about that. You're right. I never thought about that. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to see a trick with the high barrel minimums. That would be fantastic. Menu EFIS control panel, turn it on. Now you can just type it in. Alright, FMS. No. Oh, menu. EFIS control. Ah, and where do I type it? Oh, press EFIS. Where's the EFIS button? I've never used that. I'm staring. Oh. Oh, duh, right here. Okay. I was looking down here. Gotcha. And there we go. Mins. Right side. And then what is it? 2651. And now where do I put that? Under min set. 26. That is brilliant. That is so cool. Come back out to options. Nope. Let's go back to menu. EFIS control off. How cool is that? How cool is that? That one I'm not gonna forget. I gotta remember that. That's awesome. Menu EFIS control. That is wild. Well, that makes life a lot easier. Ha! Oh my god. Even to set minimums to like 380 takes a week and a half. It really does. Wonder where we are now. What is this? Oh, there's an airport right there. Let's see. That is Sorocaba. A very interesting name. Sorocaba. I'm amazed that like when you fly over these places, like how big some of these cities are, and you never see like it's there for when the control panel fails. Gotcha. That is amazing. Alright, so I almost feel like I might want to bring up Navigraph charts for this because it's gonna be a lot of looking up and down to check because with the complexity of the approach. So let's go right here. Let's go auto IFR. And we'll go. All right, now we'll load this up. So we're already on the arrival. So let me take a quick look at the approach here. All right, so. Final approach course 095. Glide slope. Oh, that's okay. Glide slope intercept is 3260. Let's go 095. I don't know if you would normally set this far out because you've got a whole bunch of turns to do here, but glide slope intercept 3620 at GR006, which is right there. Okay, so minimum is 2651, airport elevation is 2500. 5,700 within 15 nautical miles. Missed approaches, climb 6,000. Maintain course 095 until 3,300. Right turn, direct Isimu for holding, and that is a that's a standard holding pattern. That's gonna be a straight direct entry. Go around in circles there. So we hit, let's see, GR283. 9 miles to GR009, then we start our arc. We roll out at GR007, 5.5 mile final. And let's do, let's do let's do this here. Approach. Right now we have 19.1. We're gonna have 16.3. That's 2.8. So 403.0. 777 driver. What's a normal landing in the 777? Is it 25? Flaps 25, or you usually land flaps 30? And sorry if I got a little bit behind on the chat. I'm trying to get myself squared away here. So that's all set. Yeah, that tip about setting minimums is like way better. That's awesome. Yeah, T Phillips. Yeah, right. Flaps 30 always. Then flaps 30 we are, my friend. We're gonna do flaps 30. Okay. And do you do VREF +5, or do you land at VREF? Final approach segment of VREF. So somebody was saying yesterday they do flaps VREF +5, but the FMC doesn't have it. Insert VREF and you bug VREF +5. Gotcha. Makes sense. All right. VREF plus half the headwind component. I guess that would make it. 777 driver, is that what you do? VREF plus half the headwind? So we got 130. We're gonna have a headwind. So yeah, it's be about 700 feet a minute on the descent, on the arrival. Alright, that just scared me right there because it paused for a second. Blue Star, this plane is freaking amazing. This plane is absolutely amazing. I can't wait until it's released so you guys can start flying it. Yeah, I was kind of skeptical about the half the headwind component part. I've never really I've heard half of the gust factor, but never half the headwind. So we're coming up here. Supposed to be at 17 or above, so we got that good. Still no ATC, which is good because this ATC would just mess me up right now. There's a ton of traffic coming into this airport right now. Ton of traffic coming into this airport right now. It's kind of interesting how close this is to the water and at 2,600 feet. Wouldn't necessarily have expected that. So, hey, tolerance, no worries, my friend, no worries. I used to do in the turboprops. Interesting. There's flight level 170. We're starting getting a little quick here. And 777, how long? Like I'm at 263 right now. It's supposed to be 250. Would you start thinking about speed brakes, or no? You just let it ride. Anything less than -10. We'll see what we got here. We'll see what we got here. The other thing I always like doing is checking the oh, we got 10,000 feet. Cargo. So we'll get off Bravo here. I don't think I'm gonna make golf. In Brazil, they don't care. But like, what kind of like speed deviation is going to start messing with your, like, you know, hitting descent restrictions and stuff like that? Sorry for peppering you with questions. I'm just like fascinated about this stuff. Intersection call. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, what do we got here? Got what, 7, 13, 20, about 30, 32, 33 miles here. Field should be right at our 9 o'clock somewhere. But alright, on this start won't matter. Level segment couple. Yeah, you're right. Good point. That is a very good point. Once we level off, we're gonna slow down. Alright. So, and I usually activate the approach within 10 nautical miles of the initial approach fix. That's about right, no? I slammed them all, but... Oh, see, I told you. I knew I was going to get ATC. I knew it. Alright, 126.75. I knew it. At least he's doing it out here. 126.75. I knew it. 126.75. Alright. Oh, and if he gives me a different approach, I'm gonna freak out.
Autorizado da Leão, rota confirma plano de voo 250, decola na 0 esquerda, perfil de saída de corpo no alfa, transição ORM, para o transponder 3675 para o 3698.
3636, transponder o 3698, planejamento correto, pushback acionamento, calda esquerda, 530, chama para táxi.
Autorizado pushback de acionamento, vai chamar por táxi do 3698.
Sete Curitiba, muito boa tarde, com o 357. Tá pedindo registração para Guarulhos.
Gol, consegue transponder 3377. Prepare chegada do nosso sinal PLS, pista no 03.
O Gol no 357 já está executando a chegada de São Paulo no Alfa.
I can't tell who's waiting for a response and who's not.
Autorizado Yankee na 0 repórter estabilizado.
Foi de lamento autorizado o ILS Yankee no 0 direita vai reportar estabilizado. O Gol 1357 para confirmar transponder 3377.
Afirma 3377.
3377 transponder vai chamar estabilizado 357.
Center, good afternoon. Swiss Air 903 descending via the Everett 1A. We're looking for the ILS Romeo runway 10 right.
93, heavy, 743752.
2752 for Swiss Air 903 heavy.
3756.
Oh, what did he say? Somebody catch that? Say again for Swiss Air 903. Okay. 3756, okay. And, I love it when they give you another squawk code too. Okay.
2024.
Okay, road 2024, clear to São Paulo by 73770, cluster runway 15, cluster by Chevron Bravo, cluster is
yeah, 777. I don't. There's no Swiss. There's no Swiss livery for this plane right now.
For São Paulo, flight 370, departure runway 15, departure via step 1 Bravo, three passengers, mission step 3224.
A transmissão tá um pouco ruim aí, tá?
Well, at least.
Confirma o está recebendo o centro do aeroporto.
32/5.
This could get interesting.
Confirma, continua recebendo?
Agora melhorou.
Tá, seguinte, autorizado por Gonçalo, 370, decolo no 5, Pushback no Bravo,
I'm not even in his airspace. I'm not even in his airspace, but that's alright.
Centro 2004, autorizado São Gonçalo, nível 370, tem uso no 5 Pushback com no Bravo, transição em embarque, transpando 3224, Gol 20.
O Gol 204, estacionamento correto, confirmando o Gol Push.
Acima de todo táxi.
NH 1097, Yankee 2, Lima 2, Bravo, Alfa, Ponte
Autorizado táxi Yankee 212, Bravo, Alfa, Ponte para nosso Castão, no 7, Gol 2024.
Da 3692, 3696, transponder.
3696, transponder para o 3698.
I haven't heard a word from him since.
Ou já pode efetuar?
Pushback está autorizado para o táxi.
Ok, Pushback autorizado, vai chamar por táxi do 3698.
Curitiba 2024, solicitão no 0, né?
Come on.
O 2024 autorizado, no 0.
What do you got here?
Táxi que quiser até captura no 0, o 204.
Esse no 0 só forma ponto no Bravo, preparei aqui.
Manager, when I contact this flight level 13 will consider the descent for 7,000 feet, NH 1020, expected ILS Yankee runway 10 right domain.
Swiss Air 903, is there any chance I could get the ILS Romeo for 10 right? That's what I have set up right now.
Okay, this line is clear ILS Yankee runway 10 right for constellation.
Roger, clear ILS Romeo runway 10 right. Thank you, Swiss Air 903. I think he gave me a descent to 13,000, but I'm just flying the approach. They, you know, it's like if you had more than 5 minutes to get anything set up, that would it would work. But all right, so Sampa is in 16 miles.
Good afternoon.
Oh, this is beautiful.
About 320, responding 2627.
Alright. This is going to be a fun approach. It's going to be cool just watching the airplane do it. There's going to be no skill required on my part, which is what I like. Matthew, I don't believe so. Maybe when they fail to give you the approach clearance and then get mad at you, don't do it. Yeah. I mean, what bugs me is when you...
Turkish 16, level 410, Xoluk.
167
That's the other thing that bugs me is getting a new squawk code like 5 miles from the runway.
Turkish 16.
Top 316.
It is gorgeous down here. Look at this.
161 and walk 0134.
777 is out, you say? Oh, Thunderbolt's in the cinema.
Bounty 5832, response. Bounty 5832, step 3534.
Yeah, boy. Sim brief profiles are out.
34 for 4504.
Taxi 160, right across the flight level 410, expecting for destination arrival, Ebra 1 Alpha, ILS Yankee, runway 10 right, report for
Man, this is so beautiful.
Expect F1 Alpha 1 for ILS Yankee, runway 10 right.
I mean, look at this. And we'll get 30 seconds of instrument time here on this flight.
Flight level 390, expecting for destination Ebra 1 Alpha, ILS Yankee, runway 10 right, report for descent.
I
think I'd like to start slowing down sometime soon, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Curitiba, send good afternoon. Curitiba 188 requesting IFR clearance, Sao Paulo.
Look at this. How beautiful is this? T. Phillips, I don't really know. I think the biggest difference is Flight Sim 2020 versus Flight Sim 24. But I absolutely love this version. I absolutely love this version.
Pode repetir o transporte, por favor?
Okay.
3634, go 97, yes,
Turkish 16, because he's at
I'm gonna roll it back to up speed here.
Taxi 160, meter off flight level 140.
Tiffany flight level 14.
Let's see. We should get a level leg here. It'll help us slow down.
36 Alfa Golf confere pistão 102.
Alright, so this is gonna be a fun part right here, fellas.
Curitiba, confio o gol de 069. Aperta todos os da direita, o gol 357.
Alright, we're slowly coming back here.
To follow point from A10, Alpha
Okay, go 2024, line 9, takeoff, runway 110, wing 150, grand 11 knots, KNH 1017.
KNH 1017, please. KNH 1017, please for takeoff, runway 10, go 2024.
Confere na chamou no solo de Ponte Porã.
I'm gonna do this on my own schedule. I like to get slowed down a little early, just because. Just because.
That's what. 3134.
For 334, jump 3661, correction 3161.
Should have done that a while ago.
First thing of the 1 Alpha ILS X-ray running 17 right, 40%.
This is gonna be cool.
X-ray 17 right, reporting ready to set, jump 3161.
2500.
We're gonna hear 2500 about 4 times in this approach.
And jump 3161, requesting descent.
So here we go.
120, first level 120.
120 will come 3161.
100.
Confirm 100, come 3161.
Confirm.
descending 120, now 36, approach 3161.
Municipal no 0 esquerdo, turn 3698.
It's not extended. It's armed. Oh, it is armed. It is
Autorizado a
extended.
alinhar e manter 1 no 0 esquerdo, turn 3698.
Sorry about that.
Uno 357, livre via Bravo Bravo, cruzando 0 esquerda, controlado Lima, Bravo, Juliette, posição critério.
Lima Novela Bravo, cruzando 0 esquerda, Lima Bravo, Juliette, posição critério, Gol 357.
Centro Curitiba, vai dar uma boa copia, o tanto 365. Solicite instrumentos convoias nível de voo 270 via rota com Vatsim.
I'm just rolling that down just so make sure I capture the glide slope.
Autorizado Congonhas, nível de voo 270, decola pista 5, grade 1 Alfa, transponder Lug, código transponder 3213.
Alright, we will gear down.
Autorizado Congonhas via rota com
Flaps
Vatsim
20.
Decolando no 5, grade 1 Alfa, transponder 3213.
Centro Curitiba, copia, Gol de 069.
Copiado, aguarde. O 3615, correto, chão para espectramento.
Tá chamando para o chefe, 3 minutos.
Hoje no 069 na disputa.
Flaps full, we'll go 139. 134. For your reference, 129. 15 knot crosswind here.
Autorizado a decolagem no 0 esquerda, ajuste no 020, turn 3698.
Choose Fireball.
Go 024, running 135,000 feet, flight 5737,
Okay.
Continue climb flight level
My airplane.
3706 to go to 084.
Please manage, confirm the light final.
Centro Curitiba, muito boa tarde, é o TAN 3327,
yeah.
voo 140 para Guarulhos.
Please manage, confirm the service final.
Swiss 93, we are on final, yes.
Clear land on A10 right, wind 160, cannot finish 1020.
Clear to land 10 right, Swiss 93. Sorry for clearing my throat in your ears, guys.
813 na guarda. O 3327,
Bit of a crosswind here.
3327, não se escuta.
Repare o ILS X-Ray que está ocorre com correção. Repare o ILS e antes da 10 direita, voo Igualmente agora, 7.000 pés, QNH 1020.
Approaching minimums. Flight slow.
Ciente, autorizado o ILS Yankee 50 da
Continuing.
direita, voo 10 km.
Yeah, stop yelling at me.
Flight slow. Flight slow. 100.
Está 8138, na escuta do centro.
Na escuta, pista alfa.
30. 20. 10.
Tá, copy. Autorizado aeroporto, nível de voo 320, decola pista esquerda via Londra 2 Alfa, transição Ubisoft, acione transponder 3622.
I don't know why the reversers aren't working. There we go.
Corretamente o 8132, puxando para o espectramento.
That wasn't too bad given those winds. That was pretty squirrely.
32, projeto de espectramento, calda esquerda e antes 5, chão para o
Wasn't the best 777 landing I've ever had. It certainly wasn't the worst. But with that wind, I'm pretty pleased with that.
Vamos lá, Gold, cadê o Gold? Gold 1069, na escuta do centro.
Alright. Get clear of the runway here.
Gold 1069, na escuta do centro.
So let's get over here. We'll bring up our ground chart here. So, where are we going here? That is the wrong air. No, this is, yes, this is the wrong airport. I don't have that one starred right now. All right.
Roger 5802, confirm descent.
Yes, ready.
Let me see here. Let me get my charts up. And
Ascend to Speedway 188 requesting IFR clearance to Sao Paulo.
he's got a lot of.
Silver 188, confirm for red flag.
Ready to copy.
There we go.
February 188, followed by the file. Clear departure runway 15, departure by crash 1.
Feelings are still there. I'm glad to hear that.
Crash 1 Alpha,
Yeah, we didn't do too bad. I don't know if why the glide slope never armed. I saw that, JD. That's part of the reason why I kicked off the autopilot when I did. Because I didn't want it to capture 3,000 and leave me sitting there. So we'll see. But all in all, I was pretty pleased with that. It is gorgeous. Look at this.
Cross now 116 on climb, request, I need the exit from cockpit 2 minutes.
Okay, reporting back.
Right.
Centro Curitiba, tá 3 minutinhos, tá pronto, push.
And I can't cross this until he tells me I can, so. So, well, like I said, I was pretty pleased with that, really. All things considered, given that I am not a 777 pilot. Let's see, what did we get here? We had a 89 feet on the touchdown. That's not too bad. I don't generally judge my landings on touchdown rate.
Centro Curitiba, uma boa, é o Atlântico no 203, está cruzando agora o nível 220 em ascensão pro 390, está seguindo a saída Pulso 3 Charlie procedente do São Simão.
Let's see. And Center Swiss Air 93, request taxi to parking.
Okay, Swiss 93, located by Charlie Correct runway 10 left, taxi approved by November, Alpha Kilo, Apron 6.
Alright, Charlie, cross runway 10 left, November Alpha Kilo 6 for Swiss Air 93. Sitting here yapping and he's got 50 people waiting on the radio. So we're good here. November Alpha Kilo. Perfect. So what we're doing is over here, November Alpha Kilo. Let's make sure the runway is clear. Runway is clear, runway is clear. So that Turkish airline was in trail with me all the way up from Buenos Aires. So get here. Checklist incomplete. I've done it again. Yeah, but what I was saying, I don't generally judge my landings on touchdown rates. But I kind of felt like both the landing and the touchdown rate were good there. Kicked out the crab nicely. Kicked out the crab nicely at the end. Dipped the wing a little bit. Not too bad. Not too bad. Alright, once we're clear the runway here.
pushing south, Pushback 188.
Gotta overturn this airplane because it's so big. So let's go landing lights off. Let's go taxi light on. And I'm probably driving into the grass right now. Alright. So, that was that, ladies and gentlemen. I thought that was pretty good. That was a pretty good flight. It was a fun flight. Scenery was awesome. And, Leo, yeah, you missed SAEZ.
Continua a subida para 250, tá 3698.
Yeah, 3080 Ti, Chelsea. I know they answered for you already. Oh man, that's so cool, Leo. Yeah, that's what I'm using right now too. Frame gen for the people. Frame gen for the people. It keeps resetting the airport traffic. I turn it off and it keeps, unless there's really 50 planes here on Vatsim, which I doubt. But I mean, honestly, it didn't capture the glide slope at the end. But I mean, I thought the plane flew the arrival and the approach very, very nicely.
X-Way. Chegada Asbão no Alfa.
I don't know if there's any empty spots for me here.
The X-Way, confirmo.
Tem como programar o Zulu da 5?
Vamos correr aqui.
I can't take that. See, none of this traffic should be here. I have it all turned off.
Prepare o Zulu da 15, desça para 6.000 pés, quem nega agora no 08, quando pronto vou aquilo papá, 014.
Yeah, there's no place for me to park. Oh well.
7, quando puder 014, descendo para 6.000 pés, prepara Zulu da 15.
We're in general parking here today, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Okay. The passenger's gonna be walking.
Curitiba, Papa Victor Delta 2 no meio, autorizado só no...
But I mean, that was the most kind of challenging approach I've flown in this plane, and it flew it flawlessly. So, as I expected. Let's see. Nah, I can't stick my nose in there. See, I turned off all the airport traffic, but what we got here? Alright, that's gonna work for us. Parking ramp 6 is apparently what we're doing today in the 777. Oh gosh. Alright, now the most important part of the flight, ladies and gentlemen. See if we can get this. I'm gonna try to get it on the first line. Alright. I'm gonna have to go parking brake here. And we'll go taxi light off. Seatbelt sign off. I don't know if they have a
Fabébio no Bravo, não tem o NS Zulu a bordo? Poderia tratar pelo RNP Zulu da 15, da 368?
Autorizado RNP Zulu.
And we'll start turn around here.
Tem autorizado RNP Zulu da 15, vai reportar no ideal.
Get ground power. We're only getting stairs over here. Let me see. Get some AC.
Descend with 7,000 feet and out of Lommen, clear island 6 kilometers, right 316.
Alright, so now we got the ground op started. Let me see, how do we do? How do we do? Oh, I was a little bit off. I was aiming for that one right there. Oops. I was aiming for this one right here. I missed it, but that's not too bad though in the parking. Alright, we'll just log off of Vatsim here. So, like I said, I was pretty pleased with that landing given the conditions. Airplane flew the approach flawlessly. 777 driver, you I don't know if you agree with this, but I find this airplane is not difficult to slow down. I find the 737 a lot more difficult to slow down for some reason. I don't know if that's a thing or if I'm just imagining, but it's the plane is just awesome. Plane is just awesome. So that's pretty much that. This is ramp 6 at Sao Paulo. I kind of feel like I should be over there somewhere, but that's all right. Yeah, but I mean, I think the flight went pretty well. JD, the only thing. Oh, I don't know which oh, 777 driver. So do you have an approach on your channel into Kathmandu? Because I would love to see that. Didn't capture because VNav brought you half dot low, but had a level off. When you disconnected and kept flying it down, the glide slope never got a chance to capture till late. Yeah, I should have. I noticed that I was a little bit below, and what I should have done is just. I should have let it do what it was going to do, but I should have just kicked off the autopilot and leveled it a little bit just until it captured and then followed it down. But once I kicked off the autopilot, I was basically just following the pappies. But overall, I was pretty pleased with that. And a Black Sheep, I think 2024 is the bomb. It's so much fun. It just visually, it's so much better than 2020. And yeah, so the failure to capture there was on me, not the airplane. I mean, before I kicked off I'll have to go back and watch it, but like before I kicked off the autopilot, it was still a half dot low, but there may have been a level segment there. Let me actually look. There may have been a level segment I was supposed to fly, and I kicked the autopilot off too early, which made the level segment not happen. That could possibly be the case. So it was what, 7,000 at GR 283, and then 5,500 here was about right. And I kicked it off, I want to say or between these two. And part of the reason why I kicked it off is it just it was half dot low, and I just wanted to. I was descending to 3. I'd reset the. Let me see. What did I reset it to? I reset this to. I just rolled this down. I wasn't being specific about what I was going to. I just wanted to get this below 4,000, so it so it wouldn't level off and maybe go missed on me. So I knew it was half dot low, and I was half a dot low, and that's kind of why I kicked off the autopilot when I did. Is because I wanted to just wanted to hand fly it in from that point. What was the approach here? You know, it was obviously, you know, severe clear, and weather was good. So I just looked at the wind vector basically what I did was just, you know, I saw it was half a dot low, looked at the wind. I think it was out of the right, about 15 knots, kind of quartering there, and so I just wanted to be cognizant of that, and I just kicked it off and hand flew it in. So 777, yeah, no problem, man. But I will watch that because I'm definitely interested in that. I'm definitely interested in that. So I'm actually... I gotcha. VNAV into Kathmandu. Gotcha. Nice. You have a new subscriber, 777 driver. That would be me. That's awesome. That is really cool. But yeah, overall, like I said, I was pretty happy with the approach and landing. Not too bad. And yeah, I mean, it was a fun flight. Everything. I mean, the scenery was gorgeous. Nice to fly in this part of the world that I've flown into Rio before. I don't think I've flown into Sao Paulo before. As a matter of fact, I know I haven't. So it's just nice to see a new part of the world. I mean, Flight Sim 24, look at this. This is... Oh, wait. I'm still in... Hold on. Let me see. Let me get back over to the sim here. I'm talking about how beautiful it is, and you guys are looking at a JEP chart. But, I mean, look at this. It's absolutely gorgeous, you know? And, yeah, so hopefully you guys are going to get your hands on this plane here very soon. And you are going to enjoy it, believe me. Yeah, Leo, I did get some last minute changes, but this time I told him no bueno. I told him I wanted the approach that I had loaded. And everything worked out great. I mean, it worked out really, really well. So I was very pleased with that flight, and even more pleased that you guys joined. I really appreciate everybody coming along, and 777 driver, so much appreciate the knowledge. I'm gonna remember that EFIS trick. That's awesome. But for everybody who came out, really, really appreciate it. Roy, thank you so much. I wrote that down, the reshader. I'm gonna give that a look. We'll definitely give that a look. Hey, 777, if I did well enough that you're willing to come back, I'm very happy to hear that. No, I appreciate the knowledge, man. I really do. And you made it a lot of fun for me today. Eduardo, thank you so much, and Brian, thank you again for your generosity. You've always been a great support, and I appreciate it. Leo, glad you were able to get in on the end of it. Tolerance, take it easy, man. Thanks a lot for joining. I appreciate it. JD, thanks for coming. Swedish VR pilot. Appreciate the visit. You guys made this a lot of fun. Chelsea FC, Black Sheep, and everybody else that didn't get a mention. I appreciate it, guys. And we will do this again soon. I have a blast flying this plane. I'm gonna keep flying this plane. B101 UK. Take it easy. Have a good night. And gosh, it was funny. When I was thinking about doing this, I was like, I don't know if anybody's going to watch because it's launch day and everybody's going to be flying the airplane. So I was really, really happy to be able to share one last flight with you guys before it's launched. Yeah, Leo, I just put up the stream like maybe 2 hours before I got started. But it's been a blast flying down here, so we'll definitely do more flying in the area. So thanks again, everybody, for coming out. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate all the support and just the camaraderie. It was a lot of fun. It was a good group, and I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. So take it easy, guys. You get lunch day. Hey, Tolerance, you still got 4 more hours to wait before it's officially past the deadline. So, but Leo, yeah, I really enjoyed flying down here. So definitely we'll be down here again. So you guys, everybody take care. Everybody have a great rest of your day wherever you are, and we shall talk soon. Hopefully the plane will be out pretty quick and you guys can get a chance to check it out yourselves. So take care, guys. Have a good rest of your day.